famous Czars?
The Czars.
What were the Czars?
The Czars were our rock and roll band that essentially existed, I want to say, from about late 1965 through 1967 when we graduated from high school, high grade. It was on the cusp of major changes, of course, socially. You know, the Vietnam, start a revolution, and we had all the civil rights, and you know, anybody of our age can remember all that all happening at once. But the Battle of the Bands was a big thing in schools then, and it was, you know, doing rendition music, of course. And why we came up with that name was beyond me. It was just something that the other guys in the band, well, we'll call ourselves the Czars. Well, you know, from school you knew that the Czars were rulers of Russia, but none of us were Russian. To the world of me, I don't know where we got that name, but it was a name. Because the other bands that we competed with was the Calientes. Well, that made sense back then. And mind you, we were still got short hair, and we wore these red Sussex type. Nowadays, you're lucky if you find someone wearing one of those in a sidebar in a cheap casino in Las Vegas. But we all wore these scarlet, red, I don't know, scarlet, but bright red, swirly kind of tuxedos with white shirts and ties, and we had pretty good people. I guess I did a pretty good job of playing the drums, thanks to Dad and his kind heart, and buying me a set of drums and knowing that I had this talent. Thanks to the Leonard Heller, Ken's godfather, I believe.
Lenny Heller was a drummer.
He was a drummer, and I guess as a young kid that always impressed me, so that's how basically I ended up doing that. But I did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my brothers, including my mother, never really got to see me play. I mean, all through those, you know, last 3 years, mostly of high school. I started playing the drums like in 6th grade, but you know, getting into this band thing, the last 3 years of high school, we played somewhere almost every Friday night, school-wise, because you know there was the one high school in Farmington plus Our Lady of Sorrows, the other, the Catholic high school, that would always have the night, the Battle of the Band. It would basically be the same 2 or 3 bands battling it out, and we'd win many of the times. So you know, we had a guy, Rick Van Camp, who was a year younger than us, and he still does. I got a recording that was dug up and remastered by my good old childhood buddy Tom Schaefer, I guess, and then Rick put it through some more electronic stuff they got now, and they ferry across the Mersey by Gary and the Pacemakers from back then. And you know, Rick definitely had an angelic voice. He was, you know, he wasn't actually overall the most handsome guy, but I'll tell you what, that guy, he could be on American Idol.
Actually, Steve, none of the Czars were very handsome.
Except me. Except me. And them women, I used to have to beat them off with my drumstick.
Yeah, that's right.
Beat them off? No. Anyhow, you know, those are all memorable experiences that, you know, but I have to say about, unfortunately, my brothers really only saw me play maybe a little bit at Linda and I's wedding, but, you know, it was a Saturday night, always meant a dance at the KFC Hall there in Farmington.
Right.
Or the American Legion. There was always something for, and then there was FATAC, which was a Farmington area youth teen club sponsored by the YMCA, which was usually held at this old farmhouse at Grand River and Drake, and it was called the FATAC House. And the Y, it went dark again. I don't know if it's still working, but should I keep talking? Sponsor that, and there was always, you know, we were invited to play, and a great place for everybody to go to, and kids, everybody had fun. And, you know, being at that age, you know, it's all about social, and so we did good.